Please sign our Change.org petition calling for a national law against revenge porn. Sharing, uploading, or downloading the videos I'm about to speak about is illegal, and anyone caught doing so could be pursued with criminal charges. My name is Chrissy Chambers, and I am a victim of revenge pornography. For more information, click below to see the Guardian's coverage of my story after you watch this video. This is a speech I gave at the first ever revenge porn seminar held in London, April 23, 2015. Representatives from UK's Parliament, Google, as well as lawmakers were all in attendance. By going public with my story, I want to take away the shame society puts on victims of revenge pornography and also encourage other victims of revenge porn to come forward and begin seeking justice. Follow our road to justice. Check out our vlogs documenting our experience at youtube.com/ourlesbianlove. And thank you all for being here. Have you ever seen an embarrassing photo of yourself? You know the type. The notification pops up on Facebook, and the picture you see makes you cringe. Maybe your friend looks amazing and you can only see that outfit that you wish you had never worn, or you're making that face that you always say you will never make again. Now imagine getting a notification that includes your full name. But this time, when you open it up to see what it is, you see something criminal. Something that you can't unsee, and sadly, something that everyone else can look at too. This time, you see yourself naked and unconscious. My name is Chrissy Chambers. I am a daughter, a girlfriend, a survivor, an adventurer, an activist, and I am also a victim of revenge pornography. This is my story. A recent survey of a national sample of adults revealed that approximately 10% of ex-partners have threatened to post sexually explicit content online, and about 60% of those threats become a reality. Revenge porn is finally being criminalized, but the fight is far from over. In 2009, when I was just 18, a bitter ex-boyfriend filmed himself having intercourse with me after I suggested we take a break. Neither the filming nor the sex act was consensual. I did not find out about it, though, until June 2013, when someone alerted me that a person was posting links online that included my full name, calling me a slut, and saying that I was a bad role model. I clicked the link, and I saw someone stripped of their dignity, stripped of life as they had known it. It was like being hit in the chest with a baseball, and I couldn't catch my breath. The worst part was that it wasn't someone else that I could feel sorry for. It was me. Today, I want to share some of my experience as a victim of revenge pornography. My hope is that you leave here today feeling more inclined to fight for justice, to listen to victims, and maybe to even come forward for help yourself. The week I found out about the videos was a blur for me, yet when I stop and think about it, it honestly feels like every thought, emotion, and every detail is permanently seared into my brain and memory. Paying visits during nightmares, or when I'm having to retell the story to law enforcement or legal advisors, other survivors, and even you. Revisiting the moment is painful, but I know that staying silent is far worse. I was young, 18, innocent, and in love for the first time. He was 6 years older, jealous, controlling, and obsessed with me. It lasted a year, and then I suggested we take a break. He didn't take it well, and he has tried to hurt me ever since for not loving him enough. It took a long time for me to feel happy again, but eventually I moved on. Bria and I met in September 2011. I know it sounds cliche, but I really do feel like when I met her, I thought she could be the one. She was so full of life, is so full of life, amazingly talented, supportive, and fiercely loyal to her heart. She took my breath away. Fast forward a year, and we had just started our YouTube channel in August 2012, aptly named Bria and Chrissy. On our channel, we post a variety of music and comedy videos and sketches, along with advice videos and personal stories. We started a daily vlog channel at the beginning of 2014 that shows our day-to-day life. Our two channels have a combined following of 435,000 subscribers and 85 million lifetime views. We use our platform to spread awareness and to raise awareness for anti-bullying, equality, acceptance, and loving yourself. As you can imagine, our audience consists of mostly young people, many of whom are searching for their own identities, seeking acceptance, and longing to be normal. We are careful to maintain an encouraging attitude and try very hard to be role models for them. Imagine my horror once these revenge porn videos came out. They began to spread, and people started writing us about them, saying that they no longer respected us because I was in these videos, other times out of concern for our well-being. The worst part was that we could do nothing to fight it, and we could not tell them anything because it was an open police investigation, and it still is ongoing to this day, almost 2 years later. After finding out about the videos, I fell into a deep depression. In the weeks after discovering them, we began scrambling for anyone who would help. Bria spent day after day, week after week on the phone telling lawyers our situation. Some were sympathetic, others were dismissive, but most of them were perplexed. They explained that there were not laws criminalizing revenge pornography in Georgia, where we lived, or federally, so sadly there was nothing that they could do. Meanwhile, the videos by now had racked up tens of thousands of views and were shared to more than 30 different pornography sites. We were desperate, yet completely helpless. Finally, we called McAllister Olivarius in the UK upon a recommendation from a US Women's Help Crisis Line. The operator told us it was a long shot, that Anne Olivarius would be nearly impossible to reach as she is one of the top in her field. We called anyway and shared our story. It was passed up to Anne, and she agreed to have a meeting with us in New York City. We flew up from Atlanta, met with her, and got the first bit of hope that we had had since disaster had struck. She wanted to represent us. Anne warned that it would be an arduous and emotional battle, but that she really thought that we could potentially help change the law of the case if we were willing. Right away, we knew we were in good hands. I knew early on that I would want to share my experience one day to help other victims overcome the shame of revenge pornography, to seek justice, and to compel those behind the law to hold perpetrators responsible to the severest degree. This is a sex crime, and it is a hate crime. It is treated with a slap on the wrist in most places, or it's overlooked altogether. Throughout this ordeal, we fought on. As our YouTube audience does not know about this case, and still do not, we've had to work around it constantly. We upload 6 videos per week, 1 comedy or music video on our main channel, as well as 5 daily vlogs on our second channel, and have steadily for over a year. After the revenge porn videos came out, which there ended up being 6 in total, I started suffering constantly from nightmares and night terrors. Most of the dreams involved my ex hurting or raping me, or someone else being very violent towards me. Bria waking me up 5 to 10 times or more per week, screaming and unable to move because I have sleep paralysis, has become our new normal. She would often have to vigorously shake me to both wake me up and to get me out of my nightmare. I was depressed, anxious, and consumed with fear constantly. I became an alcoholic to try to numb the pain. After waking up in the ER in December of 2013, upon passing out from too much vodka and almost not waking up, I gave up drinking entirely. hearing my girlfriend crying after learning that I was going to be okay, and knowing that drinking was going to kill me before it fixed my revenge porn case was the brick wall that I desperately needed. I've been sober since that day, almost 18 months now. I was diagnosed with PTSD in February 2014 when I finally sought the help of a trauma-specific therapist. She said I'd been suffering from PTSD for over 4 years without the proper care. Her treatment changed my life and more accurately helped me to start getting my life back. I began healing and living again, and the nightmares eventually came less frequently. The lawyers working on the case have truly become our superheroes. They've worked tirelessly, and their morale always keeps the same persistent strength. It's been a long process, and all the while, these criminal acts still live online, continuing to damage my reputation, damage our reputation, hurt me, and serve as a constant reminder of why I have to fight this. Victims don't always survive to fight it. Some are so humiliated and shamed that they feel that death would be less painful than the helplessness experienced in this situation. I remember a few months after finding the videos, realizing that I too understood that level of anguish and leaning on my support system of friends and family even more to help get me through. For just over a week now, revenge pornography has been a crime in the UK. What an amazing feat, but we still have a ways to go. The law makes it very difficult to prosecute perpetrators. The victims must prove malicious intent when pursuing charges, which can be very difficult to do and is incredibly painful to relive. Already though, hundreds have come forward seeking help, and hopefully they too can all begin pursuing justice. Thank you. Signing the petition will help change laws and could save lives. Please help us by sharing the petition.